What's up, everyone? It's Wolfgang back with another Dorkfish review, and we are about to get into one of my favorite sets in my collection from one of my favorite films as a child growing up, the Neca, Tokka Rahzar 2-pack from Tmnt 2, Secret of the Ooze. Well, let's get to it. So we'll start with this one here. Anyone who's seen the movie should remember this from the scene at the end where you're fighting Tokka and Razar in that area, construction zone, and they were trying to feed them the donuts filled with the different cubes to revert them back to pups and baby animals. The reverse of the mutagen, right? And these are so well detailed. This is pretty cool. You see right there in the scene where they'd crushed one of the donuts and found one of the cubes, right? So there's the little individual donut from that scene. And you have, of course, the box in which the donuts come from or in. It's so cool. And inside you've got a stack of donuts. And of course you see the one little slot where the one came out of that they would have given them. Very, very cool accessory. I like that. I like that it's a legitimate box. I like the inclusion of that from the movie. They did a lot of really cool stuff I'm about to show you, and I'm just very happy with that. So then we'll get into these other weapons here. So the pipe, which is very well done, looks very, very good. Just very well done. The paint job, the texturing on it, the brush, it's very well done. I'm very happy with it. I'm just going to keep saying very well done because I don't know how else to verbalize or articulate that I like it. This is, I believe, from a telephone pole in the movie where they tore it down, right? I think. Again, we talk about the grain, the textures, the wash, the sculpt. It's just fantastic. I mean, it looks pretty much like a piece of wood. It looks like a piece of telephone pole or tree was ripped down. It's very, very well done. Very well painted. I like that they did a brush even on the actual wood grains in here to kind of give it some depth on top of the actual sculpting. So that was very well done. The little holes and everything as well. Very, very well done. Very happy with that. So we also have the shield, which I don't remember what this came off of. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be a part of, that they turned it into a shield. But even the back, very well done. Got these rubber hooks that hook onto the arm, but they still managed to go ahead and paint and texture even the back of it with the rust and the silver and the flaking, which is very, very well done. You've got the gold and the silver, and it's kind of got a flaking thing. You got the buckles parts where the straps are attached. You've got the rust. You've got the dings and the dents. It's very, very, very good sculpting. Very good on Neca's part, which, I mean, it's something they're really, really good at. A lot of times you see them sacrifice articulation and other things for the sculpt because they're so good at it. But I'm going to get to articulation later and just tell you that they went all out for these. So next is the fire extinguisher. And no text, no labels on it. I would like if they had done something a little more with the text and label. I mean, they put so much detail work into the other stuff, so this to me seems like a lazy, probably the only thing about it I would say is lazy as far as the work and detail goes into, because everything else is so well detailed, so fantastic. So you've got, it's on a thin string, the tube part here, so it can move. You can put stuff in, you know, put it in people's hands and use it in shots. Otherwise, I mean, it's pretty standard, pretty straightforward. Very well done though. Still, just wish the label had something more to it. And now the accessories for the figure themselves, the separate hands. And so you'll see that they each have 3 pairs of hands. The hands that already come on them, kind of open and gripping hands. For Tokka first, you've got a gripping hand here. You can put the pipe in, right? You've got another gripping hand on this side. Could be grabbing an arm, pipe, whatever, you know, maybe one of the ninjas are taking, one of the turtles are taking a swing at him, he's caught it. You know, you can do a few different things with that hand. You got a couple of fisted hands, more flat, so if you have some smaller, thinner things you can put through his hand, like a sword, or, you know, catching a weapon, like Donnie's staff, something like that. Same thing with this hand as well. And I'm going to take my opportunity to really go over the look on these hands. Let me just put that light on this. I mean, it's so well done. The sculpting is amazing. The paint, amazing. I mean, it's just fantastically done. And all the hands were done very, very well. So then next you've got Razar. It's Razar. Pretty sure it's Razar. So you've got a gripping hand here. Again, very well done. I love the nails and the fur. See that fur and see how it's got the nice little shading and coating to give it some texture and layer. Again, just fantastic sculpts. You've got another gripping hand. Fantastically done. You've got this hand, which I think this one is going to be more akin to holding. I don't know if any of them can really hold the piece of wood. Let's see. I think this one, I mean, kind of. Yeah, he can hold it with his hand. So it's not perfect, but he can do it. So it's not bad at all. The details in the palm too. I mean, just very well done. And then the last hand, which, I mean, they're cool. They kind of get feels a little, I guess, redundant to an extent, just because it kind of seems like you pretty much got the same hands over and over again with each set. But that is what that is. Otherwise, I'm pretty stoked and happy with them. I think that was very well done on their part. But enough about the hands. Let's get into the figures themselves. And I'm going to start with Tokka. Such a cool figure. We're talking about aesthetics on him and then articulation, and then we'll do the same with Razar, right? So, I mean, aesthetically speaking, this figure nails it. I mean, just look at the detail, the wrinkling in the skin, the coating, the paint and the wash, especially on the back. You've got a nice little wash over the spines, and especially in around the part where the shell enters. I mean, the nails on the feet and the hands, the face. I mean, the whole thing is just so well done. It is. You put it up next to a picture of the film, so accurate and so amazing. So looks wise, they nailed it here. Kind of like the tattering here. So we'll get into articulation. In articulation, they've got a couple different spots in the head. So we'll actually start with the part that I love the most about this figure, and that's articulation in the face. The fact that his eyebrows can raise on both sides. You've got a little bit of movement in the front beak, which allows you to pull the mouth down. That shocked look. Yeah, that's the look I had on my face when I saw that you could adjust his face. So very, very cool. You've got two parts on the head. You've got a ball joint. They move just like double ball joints or pegs, I'm not sure. But you got a joint here in this part that can get you go that far down, that far up. And then you've got the neck part that goes here and down as well. So you can get some really good range looking down and looking up with this figure. Very, very well done. You've got, I think this is a ball joint. You can see the split right there. Barely, but you can see it. Adjust some lights here for you. But yeah, he's got a ball joint. It's not the best as far as it goes. You can't really, I mean, you can go a little ways forward and a little ways back, but that's it. And it's a little floppy, unfortunately, but that is what that is. As far as the shoulders go, you can rotate your arm around. You can all the way up to where the spines are. So that's the only limitation you're going to have is just the spines themselves, but otherwise the arms move perfectly. The shoulders. Double elbow joint in Neca fashion. You have one joint is right here in the actual joint itself, and then these following joints attached to the forearm. So standard for their stuff. Pretty good bend. You can get them, you can get his arms up about that far, both of them a little further. So see, you've got a good bend right there. But a little bit of an ugly gap. So something to consider is when you're posing, how you want to look, how you want the pose to look. a little stiff joint. Gotta get that straightened back out. Boom, beautiful. But otherwise, once you have it bent, it's pretty nice. Wrist rotates, swivels fairly easy. So I kind of like this little Mr. Burns look, just feeble hands. So, and you have the legs. So starting with the hips, he can kick up. It's got to rotate, but he can kick up about that far. Oops, hit my light there. He can come out about that far. Doesn't really go back super much. I mean, it kind of can, but also because of his weight, doesn't distribute evenly, so you've got to be careful. Obviously, his thigh cuts in there, double jointed. Yeah, double jointed knees. They swivel at the knee joint too, and then double jointed. So he can actually get a good bend going. He can almost touch, you see. So pretty good. Again, a little bit ugly there, but otherwise, not bad. Not bad at all. Got a rotation down there as well. Ankle joints pivot nicely. And a little push, but you can get the ankles up that far and then down that much. Maybe a little more if you push it. So overall, fantastic figure. I mean, his movement, his articulation is very well done. He looks amazing. I mean, even to the bottom of the feet, even that, if you didn't see it, just looking at that, I mean, the amount of love they put in. Look at the rib cage and even the underarm area. I mean, the amount of love and time they put into putting these figures together, the sculpting, the painting, even the eyes look fantastic. You know, sometimes you get some really goofy or googly looking eyes, and they really, really put some time and love in these figures. I can't commend them enough for the work that they put in to get him to look the way he did. But that being said, we're going to move on to his partner and make sure he's just as good. And I'm here to tell you, of course, he is. So here is Razar, right? So I love, just like we were talking about with the hands, the texture and the fur, the washing and painting of the fur, just so well done. You know, and changes in spots where you've got highlights and dark fur. Very accurate. You've got the hairy knuckles and then the splits in between the skin. The face is dead on. I mean, that's Razar, right? That's pretty nice. So I'm very pleased with that. But looking at the plate, which was the front grille of a car, and then you've got the tires with the nails through them. It's all rubber, so you know, don't be afraid to tear them up. You've got the different parts in the back. The chain, it's all real-ish chain, which is very nice, and everything held together. I think you can actually clip this to the back. I'm not sure how, but I think it actually can clip on the back somehow. I have to play with that and see if we can get a picture of that for you guys. But it's very, very well done. The clothing and everything is so well done. Bottom of the feet. So this is a big thing. The bottom of his feet, just as well, if not better. The paws, because he was a husky, I think, wasn't he? I'll have to go double check and look. I think he was like a baby husky, which is funny because if you look at the baby dog they used compared to his color here, it was a huge alteration, and when they reversed it, it went back to the different color. So, but yeah, funny, but good dog. So that being said, looks wise, of course, he looks fantastic. You still got the rust and the flake looking paint from the car parts and everything. You got the rubber, you got the tire parts and everything. I mean, the tread looks fantastic. I mean, again, sculpt is amazing. Painting, amazing. So now we have to get into the articulation and decide, does he have the same range as Tokka? So, starting with the head, same thing. You've actually got one, so the head is on one joint, got another joint right here, and then another joint here. So it's actually 3 joints on the head. So you can look that far up. You can look that far down. Just out of curiosity, looking right here, looking at the face and everything, especially from the side view. I'm gonna throw up a picture from the Goofy movie. He kind of looks like, or kind of reminds me a little bit of the Bigfoot who was dancing in the background of the Goofy movie. If you've seen that, let me know. It's one of my favorite movies as well. But He also has some articulation in the face, but not the brow. He can open the mouth, which again looks very good. Get in there so you can see that. And then it closes. That's it. No eyebrows, no nothing like that, unfortunately. I mean, he's got a little bit of room for wiggle and attitude. Can turn pretty decently, but it kind of turns at an angle. Shoulders are next, and he can get his arm pretty much on a T pose. Rotate up here and rotate there, and that's when you're going to start catching the armor. It's a little more limitation in that. Double jointed elbow. Kind of stiff on his as well. If I can get the range on it. Oh, come on, boy. Yeah, I want to be careful pushing it. So he has a little more range. Maybe the other arm. Boom, there we go. Yeah, so pretty good range right there. It doesn't look horrible. There's some noticeable gapping, but otherwise, if it's like right here, it's not horrible. Kind of noticeable, but not bad. Of course, he can turn at those parts as well. Right, so he's got rotation in both joints here. And then the hand, same as Tokka's, right? Difference in this, the big difference in this, I think Tokka's got a better head and neck. Razar, of course, has a better crunch for his body. So he can crunch that far forward, crunch that far back. Can kind of rotate with it. It's on a ball joint is what it is. So he can rotate leg-wise. His leg can come up a lot farther because he doesn't have the shell and everything in the way. So get a Spartan kick out of him. Goes back further, obviously, because again, he doesn't have a shell in the way. Outwise, he can almost do the splits. Thigh cut, all the same. Double jointed knee. Can not quite. I feel like the Tokka had a little more range out of the double jointed knee. That's just me. Oh, you know what? I can't believe I didn't notice this. But if you look on the back, he actually doesn't have a double joint. It's a single jointed knee. Just one joint. Interesting. You know, I probably realized that a while ago when I first got them and opened them and looked at them, but I just never paid attention or didn't think of it. But, neat. So, ankle, of course, can go down fairly far, come up fairly far, or decent rotation is perfect. So yeah, some differences in the articulation, but I like them. I actually think I prefer the knee joints here and would have liked them on him as well because they don't look as ugly either. They're pretty smooth. So yeah, as far as he goes, as far as figure goes, I think he's fantastic. You know, there's some things about each one I like. I mean, Tokka has a better neck and head range. I like his shoulders a lot more. But Razar's hips and knees are fairly comparable to Tokka. So I'm really liking both. They both bring something a little different to the table, which I like. So as figures go, these guys, again, they are literally in my top 10 figures in my collection. Of course, I put them together, even though it's two separate figures, because it's one package. They are so well done. So, but enough gushing about that. I'm going to go ahead and get into some size comparisons. Right quick, I totally forgot to mention this accessory because I forgot to pull out the box. Silly me. But we have the TGRI vat of ooze, or jar of ooze, and which is used to make them. That does come with the figures, and it is very well done. All painted, no raised. Lettering there. Yeah, looks good. So just need to mention that right quick. Alright, and with the size comparison, I have a few figures here to look at. The first one in comparison is the SH Figure Arts Tmnt Raphael. I have the whole 4-pack, but I figured didn't want to have to pull them all out. That one's pretty good next to it. I also have right here from the Batman versus Ninja Turtles series, Shredder. In size comparison, they actually look pretty good. I mean, that's about the size I would expect the Turtles to be next to this Shredder, and that's about the size I would expect the Shredder to be closest to them as per the movie, so I think it's pretty accurate, or pretty close if I recall. Then I also have the Neca Tmnt 1 Shredder, who I feel like size-wise, a little hard to stand, but I feel size-wise, God, that was so hard to get him to stand. Size-wise, I don't feel like he's the proper height. I feel like they were taller than the Shredder. I'll have to go back and watch and double check, but I'm pretty certain that either they needed to be bigger or he needs to be a little smaller, but either way, he wasn't that size on them. And then one other SHF figure just to size compare with them is the Infinity Wars Hulk, which I think is a pretty good size. But I think they should have been around the same height. I could be wrong. I'll have to go ahead and double check. And then lastly, sorry, I'm pulling stuff from every which direction. Haven't completely unpacked since the move, but just to compare it to a Mezco body, I have my custom 112 Razar Ghoul, which is on the gold ninja body. Alright, and final thoughts on these figures is, man, they are fantastic. Again, Neca did such an amazing job with these. When I first got a hold of them, I was so excited, and then after opening them up, pulling them out and getting to mess with them and take pictures, which I'll throw up at the end of this video, they were such knockout figures as compared to anything else Neca had put out. And I still think they are. I think they're better than still anything else Neca's put out. They killed it. It was just, without a shadow of a doubt, the best work Neca's ever done. I can't state how pleased I am enough. Kind of makes me sound a little bit like a kiss ass, and if so, so be it. But you know, just the nostalgia, it brought back my childhood in these figures. I used to have it on VHS and I wore it out, and they had to go and buy another VHS of the movie. That's how much I loved the movie, and that's how much I love these figures. They are just fantastic. Top 10 in my collection, no ifs, ands, or buts. So to anybody who would ask me if I suggested them, or you know, they're worth the price, oh yeah, even for what they're running now, they're well worth the price. So if you don't have them, I suggest you get them. If you do have them, I hope you enjoy them. And in the meantime, I'm about to bug out, guys. But thank you for watching. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. I've got more videos coming, and I've got some content on the channel, so I hope you guys enjoy it. In the meantime, thanks for your support. Catch you guys later. Deuces.